You've got hair fibres all the way through the middle there. Maybe I should have washed it before, but start with a 3 just to get rid of most of this, and then probably end up going a lot shorter. Here we are, New Year's Eve 2020, the day that I finally shaved my head. It's been a long 10-year battle or journey to get to this point where I'm feeling comfortable and confident enough to take the plunge and embrace the shaved head look or bald look. I've done everything possible to remedy the situation over the years. Spent a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money to hang on to my hair, and you can probably see that from this it's not too bad, if bad's the right word. It's not that noticeable, but it's not about how I look, it's about how I feel. And if there were ever a year for that self-reflection and realizing what's important in life, then 2020 is that year. And so go into that new year feeling sort of confident and comfortable and just not have to worry about it anymore. So I want to say a big thank you to Harry. Amazing what he's done with the channel Bald Cafe in promoting the acceptance of baldness amongst men, making people feel that they're not alone in this situation, and building a real sense of community. And also thank everyone that's contributed to his channel, because for the past 6 months or so they've inspired me and instilled that kind of trust and confidence that everything will be all right even without my hair. And so yeah, the time is now, the time is right, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and shave this head. Okay. Whew, that was a fair amount. So thick. Why can't it be thick everywhere? See, it's the part on the crown that you can't see, but that is completely thin. Not at the moment, maybe, but without the hair fibres. You can see the scalp. Just mumbling now because I'm nervous. I've just got to go through the middle. You can see it swept all over to one side. Oh dear. This is the one straight through the middle. You can see the hair fibres in there now, so I'm going to have to wash this after. So many hair fibres. is you can't actually believe that you're doing it, but then it's very much real. I feel like I should have washed it first, washed all the hair fibres out.
How's it going, man? I mean, where do we start? How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm obviously, yeah, I'm feeling good at the moment.
My biggest question is, you know, what was the thing where you just kind of thought, yeah, I feel ready. I think I'm ready for this.
I think it's just been a crescendo waiting to happen for so long, you know, and I do value New Year's, you know, in terms of that self-reflection piece of the year, but also about what I want to achieve going forward. From our first conversation over that next 2 months, I just really invested in sort of those 10 steps that you actually put out sometime. You know, what can you do to build yourself up for that big moment? And so things like creating accountability with not just my closest friends and family, but then like colleagues, for example, who had no idea. And I said, look, there's going to be maybe a big change in my appearance when I come back after. So just planting those seeds. It wasn't the most pleasant of experiences. And I think that's telling from the videos. You know, some people come on and they're shaving it and they're just enjoying it. They're loving it as they're doing it. That wasn't the case for me, because one, I had so much hair. I mean, I grew it out to a length where I just wanted to get rid of it anyway. You know, I let myself get scruffy to the point right now I really want to just have a fresher look anyway. But it wasn't visible necessarily. It wasn't extremely noticeable, my balding, because of the concealment, you know, and how I've got quite good at that over the years. And so I knew that when I was going to shave it, I was going to reveal a lot to myself as much as anyone else, you know. So when you're going through it, and then I knew the sides were going to be fine, but when I went through the middle and I could just see where all the hair fibers were covering up the gaps, it was kind of that realization of, okay, I'm exposing it to myself for the first time as much as anyone else. But then once I got down to a 3, I thought I'll go all the way first of all. Maybe not razor shave, but I'll go all the way first of all, because it's going to grow in the next few days anyway. And then I can see how I like it. But I do like a little bit of a shadow at the moment. I'll be honest, there was so much tension in doing it that it wasn't immediate, the effect of thinking, oh, I look good. It was just this almost internal shock that was still playing out, that I'd actually built up the courage to go ahead and do it. It's today, actually, a little bit more with it, a bit more time to actually just look in the mirror and reflect. And I'm feeling good today, you know. I'm like, it suits me. What's really surprising is I was worried that people were going to be polite about this look. What transpired is that people were being polite about my hair.
Okay, that's interesting.
You know, because a few people have said, well, I love this look. Like, it looks so good. It suits you so much. And if anything, you honestly look better. Because I wouldn't have said it, but in the last sort of 6 months or so, it's become noticeable that you're using more fibres, or you've swept your hair even more, or you're looking to cover it up more. And so that was an interesting dynamic, you know, that people were being polite whilst I had my hair, because they knew that I had these struggles, and now they can actually be open and honest and say, you look great. I mean, I put on some sunglasses and a head thing for New Year's Eve to celebrate, and I sent a photo out to friends and family, and some of them come back and just said, "Oh, I love the glasses." They didn't even think about the head, you know.
Didn't even acknowledge it.
Anything different, and then they were like, "Oh my God, you shaved your head." I honestly didn't see that. It really suits you. That positive feedback loop has sort of solidified that I can have this look and feel comfortable with it. They say if you're waiting to be 100% certain around any decision, you'll never make one. You know, 70-80% is the best you can hope for, because there's always going to be an inkling or something preventing you from taking that decision forward. This lies outside of just shaving your head, but just actually reflecting on yourself and who you want to be, both in terms of who you want to be to yourself, not necessarily externally to others. You know, we talked about practicing that sort of self-acceptance, self-compassion, self-kindness, and anyone that's thinking about this has probably got a friend that's balding or is bald or has shaved their head, and they wouldn't demonize them or you know, take the mickey out of them in the same way that they are fearing others might of themselves. So you only have to look around you at how others deal with this, or how they interact with themselves and others. You know, look at the confidence that they have, and have, I would say, talk to people who you know that are balding or have shaved their head because they're bald. I mean, my group now, it's funny, on the WhatsApp group, it says there's officially now more baldies than people with hair in this group. We've got to get a pic soon. And so, yeah, it's not uncommon. No. But I think that highlights it's really not about anyone else, because we're so accepting and kinder towards others than we are ourselves. Our own worst critics. Yeah. And whatever it is that can help you to process that self-reflective piece. You know, for me, it was yoga, meditation, mindfulness. You know, and that's something people might want to journal. People might want to express themselves in other ways. You know, whatever it is, because that opens up different doorways, and then you can start to think about, well, what is really important. Practically speaking, even just the time investment. Yeah. You know, so you think, I said in my initial video, spent a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money. You know, so time, I'm probably going to get back 100 hours. I won't be watching the plethora of videos that exist out there on hair treatments and just the time I spend in front of the mirror or worrying about it. So that massive time allowance that I've gained back, I can invest into something else. I said to my brother earlier, if I'd spent as much time learning languages as I had, I'd be, you know, fluent in a good 6 languages by now. So I've downloaded a language
Brilliant.
app today. You know, that's something I want to progress in. Then the money, you know, it was equating to like at least £1 a day for the hair fibres. So, you know, what can I spend that money on? Self-improvement, basically, in other areas. Whether that's education, whether that's, you know, physically, like gym membership, whatever it might be. So that's the other thing. And then the big one is just the energy and being able to have a more positive outlook and mindset to invest in the things that actually matter. You know, feeling more focused, more determined, and then not having that looming anxiety or low self-confidence or whatever it might be that just hinders progress in other areas of your life. That includes like relationships for me. Yeah,
holds you back, right?
That's been a good one. The girl that I've kind of been seeing one another, I suppose. Yeah. Albeit via Zoom.
Electronically, yeah.
Yeah. I was meant to be in Tenerife for the big shave. The idea was
I was going to be meeting her. I could do all the things on a holiday that I haven't been able to whilst I was going through the hair loss, you know, sort of just jumping in that water and not giving a shit. And, you know, sun cream and all of those things.
Yeah, all of it. Pictures even.
Yeah, pictures and just the time it is in the morning, wearing hats and, you know, all of those things but that was cancelled, but it wasn't going to deter me from still carrying it out. It's when you do think back and sort of list them one by one, all the things that you weren't able to do, all the things that you had to do. You're like, I should have done this exercise a lot sooner, and that goes back to that vice, you know, create, and you've said that before as well, create lists of all the pros and cons. But then if you can go a step further and maybe think about that in different areas of life as well, because then that broadens the kind of scope of what you're on.
No, Jonathan, once again, man, thank you so much. Make sure you stay in touch. Pleasure as always. Good stuff, man. Well done. Bye-bye.